Hello, and in this video we are going to install and try out xerosploit. So let's see, let me go to the GitHub page to show you. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that word correctly, but I think it's close enough. So if you go to GitHub and then go search for xerosploit, like I did, you will see that there's a GitHub page and some installation instructions. So xerosploit is kind of like BetterCap, which we used in the previous video. It's a man-in-the-middle tool, which will allow us to target specific devices on a local network and perform man-in-the-middle on those devices. So the reason why I wanted us to try it out is because it has a couple of pretty cool functions. And I would absolutely say that BetterCap is a more maintained and more up-to-date tool. So if you ever want to actually use it in a more pen testing environment or a more productive environment, I would recommend using BetterCap. But xerosploit has some pretty cool functions, so yeah, let's install it. So these are the installation instructions available on the GitHub page. I'm not sure if these are actually going to work. We will use a bit of a different approach. So you can try this if you want to, but I can't guarantee that everything will work straight out of the box. But the way I will do it, I will start, we will actually need to change to the root user in order to make this work. So we will do sudo su and log in as Kali. And then let's just go to the home folder. So let's do /root. Okay, so as you can see, we're in the /root folder. The first thing we want to do is do apt install virtual env. Might need to do an update actually. So let's try again. Yeah, that worked. So we will be installing stuff called virtual environment. What this will do is it will allow us to create our own Python 2 specific environment. You will learn more about this during the Python module, but Python, as I stated earlier, is dependent on some very specific libraries, sometimes very specific versions of some libraries. And by using a virtual environment, we are able to create our own context in which where we want to run Python. So if we do virtual, I think it's virtual env like this. Yeah, that's correct. And then we will pick a Python version we want to use. So as we see on this page, it says Python 2.7, which means that I think pretty much any Python 2 version would be compatible. But let's do Python 2.7. There should already be a Python 2.7 version installed on Kali. So we'll do virtual env like this and do Python and do the equal sign. Oh, I'm not sure where the English. I have an English keyboard as usual, so I will just change it. Keyboard, of course, like this. Then do like this and add Norwegian. We will remove English and close. So let's do Python equal /user bin, then pick our correct environment, which is Python 2.7. And I think, yeah, I forgot to create the folder. So will actually just exit that command and create a new folder. We will actually just, okay, you know what? Let's just download this first. So let's copy this link just by clicking on that. You can also Control C on this and do git clone and right click and paste clipboard and enter. Now you can see this folder, which has the exact same content as this GitHub page. So if we now go into this, you can see that there's quite a lot of there are specifically 3 Python files, and we will need to run these from within the virtual environment we will create using virtual and the Python environment. So I will just do the same command I did here. I'll just go back a little bit. So let's do cd. So you can see now that my working directory is /root. So cd root, like that. And now we will do the same command, virtual env --python equals, and we will point it to the specific Python version we want to use. So user bin python 2.7. I think that's correct. Yeah. And now at the end we will pick the folder where the Python environment will be installed. So in my case, I will just use a xerosploit. Yeah, like this. So now the environment is created. So what I will do now is to do source xerosploit, and then I will go to a folder called bin, and then activate. So this. Now you can see that there's a prefix on my command line. That means that my new Python environment is now mounted. So if we do ls and then go to xerosploit, we should be able to run the installation. So let's do python install, and on this end we want to use 1 for Ubuntu, Kali, and others. So this will take a couple of seconds. So you probably got the same error message as the one I did, this one. So the way we can fix that is by doing apt, let's see, get install, and there's a package or library called libpcap -dev, and we will install it. So just to emphasize this, install libpcap /dev or -dev. So if we try to run the installation one more time, it should finish. Okay, so this time it finished successfully. So if we now try to run this xerosploit application, so we will do python xerosploit, and we got a new error message. So this is quite easy to fix. All we need to do is do pip install and install this thing, terminal tables, and we can try to run it one more time. Nope. Now we need to install this. So very often when you get like error messages like this in Python, you can just look at what module is missing. So in this case, it says import error, no module named tabulate. So what you would do then, just to try out something, is to do pip install, and in my case, tabulate, to try to install, kind of like in Linux or in Kali, when you try to run a program like this, you would try to do apt-get and install this. In pip, it's kind of the same. So now we can actually try to run this. So now it should work. Yeah, perfectly. So the first thing we want to do is to do help. So help will give us a couple of choices. So the first thing you want to do is to scan. And this will give us an overview of all the devices. So let's see. I actually think this device is on the wrong network adapter. Yeah, it is. So I will need to fix that, and these IP addresses will change. Okay, so this is now fixed. So you can see that there's a bunch of different devices on my network. So I just put my virtual machine into bridged mode, which gives it direct access to my local network. And you have a couple of phones, and yeah, in this case, the router. So what we want to do now, what I want to do, is to take this, let's see, this Windows machine, and I want to perform a man-in-the-middle attack on this machine. So let's just open CMD to try to figure out the IP addresses. It's 10.0.0.137. So this one, this is the virtual machine. So we have to pick a target. So let's do 10.0.0.137. And let's do help again. So this will show us the different functions available to us. So we can inject JavaScript, we can perform a DOS attack, we can overwrite the HTML data with our own data, or HTML code, and we can redirect. So let's, for now, let's just try to redirect some traffic. So let's do ds spoof, and then we'll need to do run, and it will ask me what IP address I want to forward it to. So let's just find an IP address to, for example, my blog, carlrowan.no. So let's just copy this IP address and paste it in. So in theory, if I go to my Windows machine and I do, let's say, Edge. Oh, this is probably a bad idea to choose Edge. Yeah, sure. Let's do Explorer. If I go to vd.no, yeah, you can see I'm automatically getting redirected to my own blog. So if I do google.com, I'm getting redirected to my blog. So then this